We're watching the spin cycle in real time, guys. And this is exactly why some people still rank the Game among the top-tier West Coast rappers. At some point, you have to acknowledge his consistency and his passion for the culture. A few months ago, the Game claimed he had tried to sign Kendrick Lamar while working with Top Dawg and helping with J-Rock-related business. He said he believed he recognized Kendrick's potential early and repeatedly asked Top Dawg to let him work with Dot. He even recalled asking Top Dawg again at his house in Glendale, saying, "Let me get Dot." According to Game, Top Dawg turned him down. Game then suggested putting together a deal that would allow him to bring Kendrick in as an artist, because, in his words, he already knew what Kendrick could become. But Kendrick's bodyguard later pushed back publicly, calling Game's version of the story false. After that response, the story largely disappeared from the conversation. And that's where the skepticism comes in. If you're going to tell a story publicly, people are going to check whether others involved remember it the same way. Yesterday, the Game also tried to clarify that he doesn't have an issue with Kendrick. He said Kendrick's main point to him involved the dangers surrounding the rap industry and mentioned several rappers who are no longer here. Game explained that he spends a lot of time outside without heavy security, and in his view, many problems come from entourages and people around artists rather than the artists themselves. He also said he loves Kendrick and insisted there is no beef between them. According to Game, he didn't realize Kendrick had taken certain things personally at the time, but looking back, he said he can understand why Kendrick may have felt differently. Then came another interesting detail. Game discussed Kendrick appearing on Power, despite knowing that 50 Cent was his longtime rival. Game said he personally didn't have a problem with Kendrick doing the show, and actually enjoyed seeing it happen. That was his explanation. Game also addressed the hoodie he wore in the J-Rock video. He claimed he was paid $10,000 to wear it, meaning some of the criticism surrounding that appearance may have been based on something people didn't know at the time. He also defended his own place in hip-hop, arguing that people constantly debate lists and rankings, while ignoring the fact that he has gone up against major names and remained active throughout the years. He basically said he's still here, still recording, still performing, still living his life, working out, and continuing to make music. Game then offered another explanation for why he doesn't hold certain grudges. He argued that if he had carried every grudge people had against him, the West Coast would have suffered, because there was a period when he felt he was one of the major artists representing that scene. His point was simple. If he had refused to work with people who had problems with him, where would the West Coast have ended up? Wack 100 also appeared to defend Game.
Kendrick is from Boston.
So Game got to check niggas in with Kendrick.
When it come to Game and it being a problem, he come from it being a problem or it's not a problem. You get what I'm saying?
You know, I get that, but you don't, like, I feel like there's like an entitlement or a power dynamic. How could Kendrick feel a way about Game bringing Drake to his hood? It's not like he brought him to Kendrick's crib.
Because Kendrick is from Boston.
So niggas got to check in with Kendrick then. So Game got to check niggas in with Kendrick.
Kendrick from, listen, I think the only thing is, like, if Kendrick would have put a call in, hey, bro, woo, okay, bam. But again, if that call would have went in, I'm telling you, I know Game.
Wait. So you think that Kendrick, if he had put a call in, he could have stopped Drake from being in Compton?
No, if he would have put a call in, Game would have just fixed it.
I don't think Kendrick was trying to fix it. Kendrick's a natural-born hater. He told you.
I mean, but what I'm trying to tell you is, Kendrick is not the type of dude unless you're... It's probably 3-4 dudes who know what Kendrick thinking, who he gonna express that to, right? Other than that, you don't really hear see Kendrick unless he's going at a nigga on the track. So I honestly can say I know, because when we had the conversation about doing the video in Game's neighborhood, it was never a man, you think this gon'? Because if that would have came up, I'm obligated to get on the line with Top. Listen, I didn't know it was a fucking problem like that.
Well, let me ask
you. I'm telling you, I didn't know.
So you had no, so when you saw...
Oh, my mama, bro, I had no idea, bro, look.
So you thought that Kendrick was cool with Game?
No, I didn't know that Kendrick and Drake at that time had a problem.
Oh, okay, all right.
Listen, I come from no Vaseline dish, right? I come from that shit where nigga, bitch, you's a bitch, your mama's a bitch, fuck your hood, your dead homies, nigga, we shot your nigga last month, and it's up. Okay, that's where I come from. Now I know it's a problem. I don't come from a nigga saying little subs, and I don't know what the fuck niggas talking about, a backpack, conscience, and nigga ain't no names being mentioned. Game don't come from that. When Game go at a nigga, he mentioned a nigga 500 ways.
No, you're right. Hold on. So you're saying that when y'all did the video in Compton, Top or Kendrick never called you and be like, yo, why you got this fuck nigga over here, man? You know this nigga dissing me, right?
Because if they would have called, we'd have had to address it. Look, bro, that's my G homie. I don't call too many niggas my G homie. I'm never gonna disregard Top if he's feeling some kind of way. If I'm mad about something, I tell him, he not gonna do. He gonna. Okay, whack. Come holler at what's happening, right? I'm never. No, if that call would have came in, fuck no, we would. Game would have simply got Drake on the line and fixed it. I'm telling you.
I think he could get Drake on the line. I really don't think Kendrick respected it.
Now, keep in mind, Stack 5 offered a different version of events. He claimed that he and Top Dog contacted Wack 100 and told him there was an issue. So now you have two different accounts, and that naturally creates more questions about what actually happened behind the scenes.
100 video in Compton, because Top communicated that to Wack and Chuck, and I said that to both of them too. So it wasn't like the nigga ain't know. So, you know, that was the thing.
But here's the problem. If someone is saying they have no issue with another person, you would expect their public behavior to match that statement. You probably wouldn't expect them to criticize that person, threaten to expose their camp, or make negative comments about the people around them. And that contradiction is exactly why some fans remain skeptical of Game's explanation. After speaking with Stack, Game reportedly left a comment under a Flacco post. Shout out to Chilling with Mooney for capturing the screenshot and bringing the exchange to people's attention. In the comment, Game appeared to suggest that he could eventually reveal information about Kendrick Lamar's camp. He mocked Kendrick's tendency to stay out of the public eye, comparing his absence to someone disappearing for years. Game then said that fans and internet personalities don't really understand what is happening behind the scenes. Most importantly, he suggested that one day he could pull the curtain down and reveal who he believes is behind the whole situation. And honestly, that doesn't sound particularly peaceful. You can't say, I have no beef with you, and then turn around and describe that person's entire circle as a circus filled with clowns. Those two messages don't exactly line up. That's why people are questioning what Game really means when he says there is no issue. At this point, some fans are basically challenging Game to release whatever information he claims to have. If he really has unreleased material, private conversations, or records involving Kendrick and his camp, people clearly want to know what he's talking about. Of course, that doesn't mean those materials actually prove wrongdoing or that every claim circulating online is accurate. What does seem clear is that the relationship between Game and Kendrick remains complicated. Game has referenced Kendrick repeatedly over the years, while Kendrick has largely kept his distance publicly. And when someone continues talking about another artist while insisting there's no beef, fans are naturally going to question the contradiction. The bigger issue is whether Game actually intends to reveal something substantial, or whether these comments are simply part of the ongoing back and forth surrounding their relationship. Until he provides evidence, everything beyond his own statements remains speculation. So now I want to hear from you guys. What do you make of the Game saying he could eventually pull back the curtain and expose people around Kendrick? Do you think he's referring to someone specific within TDE, or is this just another chapter in their long-running tension? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.